Friday morning. I'm down here outside of Atlanta, Marietta, Georgia. I want to talk about O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson passed away last week. And boy, they are glad. They are glad. I traveled around the YouTube land, looked at a lot of comments, a lot of the news stations that reported, looked at the comments. They are glad that he's finally gone. Well, now he can go and face the real judge. Now he gonna burn in hell. Now that OJ did, they'll never find the real murderers. I mean, they saying it all. They saying it all. I see some people in there saying, well, if he repented, he can get forgiveness and go to heaven. That's true. But I'm like, repent for what? Certainly not in murder, right? The gloves didn't fit. They don't fit. You must acquit. He was acquitted by the very evidence that the prosecution had against him. The main evidence. It's not his fault that Mark Fuhrman planted the wrong gloves. It's not his fault. They don't want to talk about that. But ain't it funny how when white people get off of murder trials and such on technicalities and such like that, it works for them. It's fine for them, right? So why when a black man get off on murder, when the evidence proved that he didn't do it, why they refuse to accept that? I had a white man. I had to stop at my terminal, take last Friday. I had to stop at the terminal, take a random drug test, and my terminal manager, which is white, want to talk about that. He already know I don't talk to them. They already know when I go there, I don't deal with them. Not on socializing level. I don't hardly deal with nobody on the social life. I'm pretty much a loner. I don't have friends pretty much. Black friend, white friend. I can socialize with people, but when I go to work and stuff, I don't hang around. When I go, I'm a truck driver. I'm on the road, but I have terminals. When I go through the terminals, like I'm at now, I'm at 1 hour terminals outside of Atlanta. I go in there and handle my business, take care of my business, so get out of there. I don't socialize with folks. I won't hang around having conversations and stuff like that. I don't do that. Politics and stuff, I don't. I just go to the job, take care of my business, and get out of there. Truck drivers be hanging around the terminals in the break rooms a lot, talking about stuff and talking. I don't do it. I separate myself. Cause the workplace is not the place for that. But, he wanted to strike her. OJ did. You heard in the news, OJ died and stuff like that. Trying to get a conversation out of me on that. first he said, well, I don't believe he did it. Then after a while, he kept talking. Come on, yeah, you know, he been this on 20-some years. Look, he trying to strike up a conversation with me. This, he enters. That's some bullshit. That's what he said. That's some, what you think about Navarro? That was his whole aim. What would you think about trying to see what I think? I said, well, I said, I don't know. I said, I'm 50-50. I played it smart. You know, I just said I'm 50-50. After 20-some years, I'm still 50-50. But I really wanted to point to the evidence. Well, the glove didn't fit. But I didn't want to put myself in a situation for them to use that as weapons, because I feel like he was searching for something. He the type of guy that I've been working with. I ain't never liked his personality since I've been working over there. You know how you work with some people? They try to act they cool with you when you in their face, then when you turn your back and they get around their people, then they talk about them how white folks are and some black folk. That's why I just played this cool. Well, I'm 50-50. But I'm like, the evidence cleared it. Now, we flip it around. A white man killed 2 black folks or whatnot. If the situation was flipped around and the evidence cleared him, would they disagree with that? No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. I see how they do. Well, the evidence cleared them, so the evidence cleared them. That's all they want. That's all they lean on. Well, what the court say? Well, as long as it work out in their favor. They just want black men to go to prison regardless. I see a lot of cases where black men have spent years in prison, and when they finally get around to testing the DNA, I specifically remember one case where they finally tested the DNA kit of a rape victim, a black man was accused of rape. He had already spent like 12, 13 years in prison. When that evidence finally proved him not to be the one, no white folk did not want that man to get out of prison. I was sitting there looking at it. As they finally tested the rape kit and all that, it was proven that he wasn't us. The DNA didn't match him. So they decided they were gonna let him out. They had a hearing or something. The woman parents was there. I think the mama. They didn't want that. They didn't want that. So he had spent all that time in prison with a lot of black men. That's why I try to make my channel where I talk about the real issues. A lot of black men are being turned out of prison now after spending anywhere from if you spend 1 day in prison being falsely accused, you spend 1 day, that's a long time for nothing. But I'm seeing cases consistently where black men are being let out of prison after spending anywhere from 5, 20, 25, 30 years in prison. Some even 40. All their time in prison for nothing. They been having DNA stuff for years, never tested this stuff. Backlog, stuff like that. They finally get around to testing. Then they got to fight like hell to get them to even test this stuff. They got to do all this stuff. Our justice system is messed up purposely. 2024, there's no reason for any man or woman to be sitting in a prison cell because of false testimony or faulty DNA kits or something or whatever, and they have They haven't tested everything. We know that a lot of evidence get tossed out in trials and stuff. The prosecutors purposely leave out evidence that works in the favor of the suspect. They leave that stuff out just so to guarantee them a conviction. Many people have been convicted over faulty testimony in America, but we want to holler, we patriotic Americans. We want to, and when it comes to the flag and all that, they want everybody to stand up and work. Why? Y'all don't want to talk about the issues at hand. Black folks are being railroaded, still being railroaded by a faulty justice system. It just is the way it is. A small percentage of white America go down like that, but the majority is black. Is even proof that we get treated harsher sentences and stuff like that. I got 4 boys. I know they ain't out there committing crimes. All it takes for somebody just to place them in the wrong, at a crime at a scene. People have been coerced to give false testimony, faulty witness. Police have forced people to give false testimony of seeing people, stuff like that. Well, yeah, I saw him. I read that. They never knew them people. They had, they story changed, but yet they were still convicted over nothing. So if they can use technicalities to get off, what's wrong with O.J. Simpson? He got off legally. The gloves didn't fit. That's their evidence. That's the evidence that Mark Fuhrman gave to the court. They act like if those gloves was planted in the evidence later. Those are that's the evidence that the prosecution admitted to the evidence. The bloody gloves. Somebody said, well, they shrunk. Now, I seen a lot of people. Then he swelled his hands up. Johnny Cocker told him to beat his hands till they swelled up and stuff like that. Come on, y'all. You ain't nobody gonna be able to beat their hands up and do nothing to their hands to that degree to be able to force them to fit or not fit into a pair of isotonic gloves that's not subject to adjusting at all. That's not a pair of cloth work gloves or something. Those a pair of isotonic gloves or something like that, leather, ain't nothing you can do. Mark Fuhrman just planted the wrong size gloves. Trying to protect this woman's reputation, which it was said that woman was tied up in drugs. She had a drug habit. I don't believe OJ did it. I never did. 2 people get stabbed to death with a knife. The woman gets stabbed first, and you gonna stand there and watch? You ain't gonna try to get away? Unless he was caught. Ain't no one man gonna do that with a knife. It's impossible. You gonna stand there in line and wait to get stabbed to death? While he's stabbing her? She got stabbed multiple times. That was an execution. He just happened, Ron Goldman, that's his name. He just happened to be in the wrong spot at the wrong time. When you're dealing with drug lords, they don't care. They tried to hide from the public about that woman. Try to save her reputation. Everybody know when you're dealing with celebrities and stuff like that, them drug people stay coming in. It's easy money. OJ failed to pay the ransom, failed to pay her bill. Now, he probably knew that they was after her. He probably knew that. I wouldn't doubt it, because he had the money. Did he use that situation to his advantage? Probably did. But at the same time, did he do it? Nope. Well, how you say he didn't do it? The gloves didn't fit. Everybody saw that. The gloves didn't fit. The glove was two sizes smaller than his hand. Come on, y'all. But yet, 30 years later, they glad because they felt like he got away with murder. Why he didn't pay that money? He should have been forced to pay that money that he owed to them family. I don't blame the man for running to Florida. You put that on our government. They have Florida. Florida always been a safe haven state. Everybody who defrauded the government, who done got away with a lot of money, what they do? They stay in the state. What they do? Run to Florida. Why you think Donald Trump ran to Florida when he lost the election? To avoid prosecution. Florida always have been a safe haven for crooks, swindlers. You go to Florida and hide out in Florida and avoid prosecution. Most states don't prosecute. I don't understand this setup. Seems like when it comes to poor folks, you can't. Them benefits not afforded you. You got to have so much money. You got to be rich to do stuff like that. Then this man that shot that Uber driver. I don't understand that. Why are you outside and you feel like you got scammed on the phone or prank call or whatnot? Why you go outside? And I quite don't understand why the Uber driver lady was at his house. I really don't want to go into that story. But if you got pranked on a call or a prank call, a scam on a call, why are you outside with a pistol? What's going on with that situation? I understand he got charged with murder, though, because that's what it was, murder. You only had that one lady there. She couldn't hardly move. You had her at gunpoint. Why you didn't call the police? Committed murder. Now, a lot of white folks in America are glad that woman is dead. They show their cell phone what's name. There's a lot of people hide behind computers and stuff. They don't care nothing about people's lives. But a lot of them the same one that hate the OJ got off. And the little white girl that attacked the elderly people. Road rage. She attacked the elderly, and the police went to the house and arrested her. Did she get beat up? Did she get bumps and bruises? Did she show up to the jailhouse swollen all up and all that? Ain't it funny how they change when they see us? Had that been a little black, had that been a black girl, and they had to go to the house and arrest her and stuff like that, you can guarantee it would have been a scene. If she was standing up with her hands out, the cops would have did something. They would have approached her, all aggressive. They would have attacked her. They would have did something. I'm not sure did they even put handcuffs on that little white girl? I bet she was still treated like royalty. When it come to us, I seen a video a while back. I told my wife about it. Over there around Conway, Arkansas, they chased a man who had stolen a Ford Mustang. The car was tinted out. They chased that man for about an hour through the backwoods of Conway, Arkansas, and stuff like that. When they finally pitted them out, they jumped out of their car like they were ready to go to bed. And when that man stuck his arm out that car and they saw he was white, y'all could have seen how they changed their demeanor. They treated that man like gold. They helped them out the car, eased them on out the car, and stuff like that. Ain't no way they would have done a black man like that. I told my wife, I said, that chased this man about an hour. They were mad. They were pissed. When he rested his arm out there window, and they can see his arm was white, they changed their demeanor very quickly. Them was all white cops. A lady cop and 2 or 3 other white men. They helped the man out the car, helped them be careful and all that stuff. Man, they would have beat a black man to death almost after that. Oh, y'all see it race now? Yeah, you right. All we see it right, cause that's all we see. This what y'all keep giving to us. Y'all get treated like gold. Traffic stops, murder case and stuff like that. Like the little white girl, y'all get treated like gold, precious gold. We get treated like crap. They take out their frustrations on black folk when black folk commit crime. White folk commit crime, murder, mad murder. They take it easy with them. They get treated the white guy that committed mass murder at the movie at somewhere, and the police found him at Subway eating. They treat them like, oh, they drove one of them through the drive, got them something to eat. They pull up on scene, see us, determine black for all they demeanor change. They angry all outdoors over nothing. If that little white girl had been a black girl who did that stuff to an older white couple and ran off and went home, they changed that. You think the police would have pulled up and been all easy with her? Had that been a black girl? Hell no. It would have been a big scene. They would have made sure to start a ruckus. They would have approached, get down on the ground, get down. They would have made the situation way. That little white girl, bad seed. You see her parents, I saw a little bit of daddy and them told him, take her home. Headache. Was she 13, 14 years old? It just happened last week. Attacked the old folk. Police went right to her house. She didn't get no bumps and bruises. I guarantee you when she showed up to jail, she was perfectly fine. Let there had been a black woman or a black boy. You can guarantee they would have had some scrapes and bruises before they got to the jail. They'd have pulled up in the yard. Once they saw they were black, that's all they wanted to hear. I'm not a racist. I love everybody, but at the same time, I don't ignore the stuff. I don't chase race and all this stuff. I try to ignore a lot of stuff because sin is sin. But they don't ignore the stuff. They don't ignore it. White folk commit mass murder. They don't talk about them. I see the stuff going on with this white man murder and disassembled this black girl, this black woman body, chopped the body. I see it. The devil behind all sorts of sin. It's the devil. She very well could have went out with a black man and got done the same way. Black men are raping and murdering women, black women, on first dates and stuff, setting women up and stuff like that. Young girls, luring young girls and killing them. It's sin. Yeah, we know when it happens, we'll say racism and we can't ignore it. Yeah, racism a lot of crimes are based on racism. But at the same time, at the heart of racism is sin. At the heart of black on black crime and white on white crime is sin. White people go berserk and kill their whole families. White women set their husbands up to get murdered by their kids all the time for insurance reasons and stuff like that. So it's not like they're immune. They get a pass. We all sin is bound in. Everybody capable of sin if you don't know Jesus. Even if you do know Jesus, you still have to be aware. Cause life, pressures of life, get to people. They snaps. There's only so much people can bear. A lot of people not strong. That's why people commit suicide. There's a lot of people doing good. It's not only poor people that commit. It's wealthy people. Rich people commit suicide. Have plenty of money in the bank. Look like they should be happy. Life one. The next thing you know, they jumped out the window. They put a 38 through they self. But man, life. The Bible say man born of a woman is only a few days, and his life is filled with trouble. That's the truth. Life is filled with trouble. Some people got it way worse than a lot of people. I run into situations and stuff. It take the Lord just to let stuff go by. A lot of people run into situations, racism and stuff like that. They can't let it go. Some stuff bother me. 2 or 3 days, then I don't forget about it. Guns and stuff. That old white man that went outside and shot that Uber driver lady, he was in the house. What was the point for him going outside? The love affair with guns make us feel like if we don't have no gun, we will make different choices. Give us a gun, give people guns. All rationality goes away. All rationalities go away. Look, put this gun down, then I'm going to stay in the house. Give me a gun. I'm going to go outside, go put myself in danger. I'm going to commit murder. You best believe somebody going to try to get that man off. They going to use some type of technicality. That's why the Bible talks about lawyers. The government. The Bible talks about the justice system. It was wicked and crooked back then. It always would be wicked and crooked. Ain't nothing nobody can do to change it. It was wicked and crooked under the Roman government system. When God founded all laws and government, it became wicked under sin. That's why you got innocent people going and spend their life in prison. Some of them don't never get out. Some of them never get out. A lot of them that's supposed to be in prison need to be in jail. They don't never go to jail. Look at the Ramses out there in Colorado, or was it Utah? Or Idaho, I think it was Colorado. Out there in Boulder somewhere. They should have went to trial. But the prosecutor, we don't have enough evidence to even convict, to even charge them with murder. They got off scot-free. Somebody told me a couple of days ago that the daddy did. I know the wife, what's her name, Patsy Ramsey, something like that. She died some years ago. I didn't hear about the father dying, but them folks should have been charged and let the jury figure it out. They blocked it from even going to trial. All the evidence pointed to that man, to that family. They only knew where the secret room was at. And from what I remember, the glass was kicked out, not inward. All the glass was found inside, outside the house. If somebody broke in through the basement and went up to the house, they keep the glass in. I ain't never seen no murder. Nobody who gonna house invade gonna keep the glass. Ain't no way you can keep the glass outward. But you keep the glass in first, then you kick it outward. Come on. We don't have enough evidence to charge them with anything. They were never charged. killed that little baby, that little pretty baby. But yeah, they glad OJ gone. The gloves didn't fit. Did y'all not see it? We all saw it. The glove didn't fit. But yet, he's still guilty. Them the gloves that they say, that the detectives and the prosecutor entered. Those the gloves that Mark Fuhrman gave to the DA, entered as evidence. If you're gonna be mad at him. They don't want to talk about that. Mark Fuhrman was a crooked cop. He was full of hate. Maybe God worked it out in his favor. God worked that out. It's funny how they want to talk about God when it benefit them, but everybody else, they damn the hell. Yeah, if he did commit murder, a mass murder still can go to heaven if they repent. Anybody can go to heaven. Apostle Paul is direct proof of that. He knew what he was doing. God should have killed them a long time ago, and he would have went to hell. But yet, God knocked him down and made him a preacher. Paul said, I'm a preacher and an apostle. He became a mighty man of God. Paul, according to him, is on his way to heaven. He waiting for the day, just like everybody else. He going to heaven. So what make y'all pass judgments to that point? We can say, yeah, I hope you go to hell or whatever, but to try to say, to determine, don't nobody know where that man's soul is going. But the court found it innocent. The gloves didn't fit, and I don't blame him for not paying them folks that money. That's a civil suit. That man, Ron Goldman, should have been aware of who he was dealing with. He knew that one was on crack. So, allegedly, what I heard,